My name is Dennis Tinkler, and I retired. I'm retired, and I spent the greater part of my life in the Canadian Armed Forces, and I served my country for 30 years.
This is Dennis's Golf for Life certificate for this year, for this indoor season. He had a wonderful, wonderful time going on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The volunteers and the employees in this program are awesome. They have had special training for dementia, and they never criticize, they never find fault, and they don't care if you hit a bad shot or a good shot, and nobody has any negative comments, which is absolutely wonderful.
They're all very flexible too, because I find that, like one first time we met, I talking to one of the guys, his name is Harry. The second week with him, I called him Bill. The next one, I called him Jonathan. He's totally confused now. He doesn't know who the hell he is.
I really love this Golf for Life. It's just a great opportunity to get out, because with dementia it can be a challenge with some of us to up and out of where we're settled. So it's an opportunity to socialize and have a lot of laughs, meet some neat people, have some great staff, just enjoy it thoroughly. Well, I'm a great golf tournament winner. I am, from my past. I had a company game years ago, and I got most honest player.
So would that be your greatest moment in golf?
It was about my only moment in golf.
So Golf for Life began through a provincial government grant that we had applied for back in May of 2018. And it came to be through kind of Kitchener Golf coming to us with some concerns with some of their memberships needing a little extra assistance and a little extra help on the golf course. And so we thought it would be, a really great opportunity to create Golf for Life, where it was an inclusive program to support individuals living with dementia. So there's so many benefits to Golf for Life. The social part is, of course, just connecting with friends and the staff here as well. And then the physical benefits of Golf for Life too. Obviously, it's getting all these folks out to golf and active and moving around, and even on the golf course, on the outside golf course, outdoors, it's a really great opportunity to walk around and move, and more so than they probably ever would before. And we really want to emphasize that physical activity for these golfers, to just keep them going and keep them strong and keep them out playing the game of golf.
Widen your stance and then finish your swing. Turn your chest to the target and finish your swing. I used to be a former touring professional, and when I moved home I was kind of in transition and trying to figure out what I wanted to do next, and the job opportunity came available last May, and I just jumped right on it. And I've always had a love for making a difference in people's lives, and to be able to do that while being a part of the game of golf still has been the perfect opportunity for me. No, everyone's playing from the reds. We play a scramble. Okay. And if we don't have a good shot up there. So my first day on the job, I remember chipping balls with Dennis, and I went over to just chat with him and introduce myself, and he said to me, I've been really working on my chipping and I really want to get better. And that really inspired me, because when an 86-year-old man said he wants to get better at his chipping and work on his golf game, it proves you're never too old to keep learning things and to keep active. So it was really inspiring. We've just created this amazing friendship. We really both share a love of this wonderful game, and I think that we're both competitive by nature, and sports have been a huge part of our lives, and I think we really share that, and we can joke around with each other, and we really do have a special bond that I truly cherish.
chip.
Hit the ball, Dennis Scott. Damn it, you little runt.
We'll let Gail have a whack at her.
Well, line up those lines. Denise just had a
Denise.
just had one, so Gail's going.
Yep. Okay.
That's okay, Gail. Our program provides the opportunity for them to have a caddy, which is amazing. They can have that one-on-one attention. Someone's there full-time to help them pick their club, drive the golf cart, and to keep them safe.
The perception of dementia hasn't really changed for me. They're just living their life. They're enjoying themselves. There's a couple things here and there that you need to be aware of. Just be cautious with the back of your mind, but overall it hasn't really changed. They're just trying to live their best life, and being able to help them out with that has been an incredible experience.
So our program is both outdoors at Kitchener Golf Courses, Brockway Golf Course and Dune Valley Golf Course, and it's indoors at Golf Play.
Well, when we became involved in this program, we hadn't heard of anything in the country, had we, Karen? And so we were quite excited about it because it seemed to be a perfect example of a dementia-friendly initiative that was focused on supporting people with dementia and continuing with their valued activities or finding meaningful activities in community that we hadn't seen in other communities. Have you been able to find anything?
Nothing in particular to golf, in particular to sport, nothing recreational for people living with dementia.
So this really is a unique program that we're hoping people will take up across the country.
Oops, wrong cart. I'm in the wrong buggy. I've done that with cars too. It's very embarrassing. Well, I'm Dave Wastel. I was a missionary in France. I was rebuilding a hamlet in the foothills of the Alps for all types of Christian workers, and then I got dementia, so came back to our daughter's town and settled here. And then heard about this fabulous program. Well, I was something around 60 years old, and the slow dawning is what happens with it, because your wife and daughter go, it's not the Dave we know, Dad we know, it's something different. So just the curiosity of, well, tell me more. And the diagnosis was very quick when I actually got in a couple of years after that, and oh yeah, that's the behavior, fits the pattern. Now you're asking about my family. They've been incredibly supportive. They're so willing to learn all about it, like I had to, and drive me and not let me drive them crazy. Just really good. Oh, look out. Hit the tractor, hit a tree, and went back. Well, I have a new normal every day. It's just the life I've been given, and yeah, Lord gives, the Lord takes away. It's, of course, a wonderful basis I start with.
If you've met one person with dementia, you've met one person with dementia. I've met hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people with dementia over my career, and all of them respond in different ways. They experience in different ways. They are disabled by their communities in different ways. So although there's common symptoms to certain types of dementia, like challenges with memory, challenges with cognitive functioning, challenges in doing day-to-day functions, some disorientation at times, people can experience that in many different ways. So my focus is always, if you met one person with dementia,
you've met one person with dementia. So for some people it's all their memory, and some it's their behaviors and social aptitudes, and on, 100 symptoms. I would have trouble getting out and about and doing things of initiative. I just rather keep quiet. So I find this is a wonderful opportunity to just socialize, get out, enjoy the folks, and it's fun, good fun. Golf's a great game.
So the Golf for Life program incorporated novice golfers, but also previous golfers. And some of the previous golfers had been golfing for 50 to 60 years, so mostly their entire lives. So they were thrilled to be able to get back into the golf game and experience golf amongst people like themselves. And with newer golfers, their self was just completely transformed through the program. They were more social, they learned a new skill. It was just so meaningful for them. So for both groups, they both experienced a great impact from the program.
Like, I am consumed by golf when the season is in. I often wonder whether or not I'm being stupid about it, but I'm not. I just like to be out in the outdoors. I like playing with people and taking on this challenge. It's a challenge, you know, and not only how far you hit it, but how well you hit it, and if your putting is good.
Yes, you're one of the best putters I've ever seen.
Oh God, you're a sweetheart.
It's true.
Anyway, yeah, life has been good to me. I can't complain. I spent 30 years in the military, served this country, and I served in the Middle East. You know, I've been around. So it's, what have I got to complain about? I still feel as healthy as a horse. And, you know, I'm 83. Yeah, and I'll still train. You know, I'll go to the gym and I can still pump iron.
That's incredible that you're going to the gym.
Yeah. Well, I think because I was a teenager when I started bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want some smart ass kicking sand in my face and throwing snowballs at me.
Absolutely.
So,
Don't blame me one bit. Well, it's a pleasure to golf with you. I'm so lucky to golf with you.
you're a sweetheart. No doubt about it.
Oh, she turned it.
Trees. Oh, that was money. We almost whiffed the high five there. I don't. Oh, thanks. I don't know where the tee went, but that's okay. Oh, you guys are
Tell you what, Gina, sure knows how to embarrass a man.
Dennis.
Physical activity can be really important for keeping that blood flow to the brain, keeping the brain working. But the other thing that we're finding is if the physical activity is actually a social activity as well, social activities and interaction is really shown to have an effect on cognition. And so the more opportunities we have to be socially and physically engaged, the better that's going to be for our brain.
Golf means a lot to me. It's my business of involving myself in something athletic. It's a smooth athleticism, there's no doubt about it. I feel that I'm getting my cardiovascular, I'm keeping my muscles in tone, and that's exactly what I want to do. And on top of all that, to be able to appreciate those who are playing this game, playing it well, playing it out of enjoyment. It's the greatest game in the world.
So the feedback we've had from the care partners has been nothing but positive. I think they really enjoy the fact that their partner has a place to go, you know, a couple times a week, a safe space, a spot where their staff and volunteers are here welcoming them, and they're able to play a game of golf. it's really been an amazing benefit for the golfer. And you know, the care partner, it gives them the opportunity to have a break and go do some of the things that they want to do as well while their partner is at golf.
When Dennis goes off to play golf, I usually try and catch up on housework or things that I haven't accomplished. Maybe I get to go to the grocery store or run errands or go to quilting while he's off, hand quilting while he's off golfing.
I heard a lot of great positive feedback from the care partners throughout this experience for them. One was that they were just thrilled that their loved one with dementia could get back to a sport that they loved or learn something new. They really liked the fact that it was in a safe environment and that it was a very inclusive environment. Speaking to what you also said, they had talked about how it incorporated both a social opportunity and a physical activity. A lot of the times when their loved one with dementia was diagnosed, they actually received a doctor's prescription saying, you need to do so much social activity a week and so much physical activity a week. So this combined both of those things, so they were just so happy to have that.
So if we had a perfect world, in that perfect world for me, all people with dementia would be included and embraced in community. And so we would have more and more programs like this, whether it's changing the way that we adapt and offer all of our programs in community so that all people with dementia are treated as valued citizens. Their supports are provided for them to continue to be engaged. They're flexible enough that people would be engaged. The first thing we need to do before that will happen, though, is we need to address the stigma. And a good way for that to happen is more and more people will speak out. More and more people with dementia will talk about what their experience is like, and that it is possible to live well with dementia when the supports are in place.
I have, you know, if I was suffering from dementia, and I was trying to describe it to somebody who doesn't know what it's all about, I would certainly have to let them know what my particular problems are, because I'm not the same person I used to be. I'm different. And I think people that suffer from dementia are now living a different type of life, okay? And they're reaching out for camaraderie is probably a little more difficult than it used to be when it was almost automatic.
We've been very fortunate. Dennis is a wonderful provider, and the finance hasn't been a problem with us. It's just golf has been our life, and because I guess we played so much, nothing stands out. We were just constant, every day is golf.
Yeah.
People with dementia are 7 times slower in reaction to everything. Be it a question asked, they might repeat the question because it's still going to their brain to be, but they're 7 times slower in dressing, they're 7 times slower in eating, and people don't realize this difference in time. They think that they should answer the question right away or expect them to do something and know what they're doing if you give a directive. They don't anymore.
Now that's East Coast. I love the birds. I've done more, about 3 or 4 of these.
Very, very good.
I'm learning how to not be impatient and not expect an answer right away or a result right away. It isn't going to happen, and it gradually progresses and deteriorates with every day, maybe every hour, but there's no cure for this insidious disease. people need to realize that they cannot function the way they did when you knew them, and it might have been 20 years ago or it might have been 5 years ago. That's 1 week's pills, and they're Monday. It tells you what time of the day you take, and that. That's every week, every day. Isolation that comes with dementia is, I find that closer friends that we have had, we do not see as much. We are not in public as much, meeting people, because it's not a stigma. I don't know how to describe it other than that it's isolation. You are you can't explain to people that he's wonderful in your company because he's participating, but 5 minutes later at home he doesn't even remember that he was with you. You're left pretty well much on your own. It's an isolation. It's a disease that you gradually lose a little bit of your person that has dementia, and every day it's something different that you've lost that you had at the beginning of the relationship. I can't describe it other than that each day usually brings another loss. I don't remember how to do this, or I haven't. It hasn't happened. Oh, it doesn't remember. It's just isolation because they can't remember 5 minutes ago or even 2 minutes ago what they just did. Check and make sure you've got everything you're going to need.
Okay, teas. Just check the golf holdings, so I have loads of golf.
This bag weighs a ton, or it seems like a ton.
Oh, it's good exercise.
For you, yep. This can be done 3 or 4 times, and then done again. Golf to Dennis is pretty well his be-all, end-all, except for family. He loves his family, but he's always wanted to play golf, and he can still do it with this program. And he lives and eats and breathes his golf. And if you say, I'm going to come pick you up, take golf, what time is his answer? I'll be ready.
If there was one thing I'd like to share with people about dementia is just relax and enjoy the person, because each one is unique, the experience is unique. They're often fascinating people with just maybe, for me, it's a little bit of a time lag in responding, or not sure about something and I'll pause, or so a little patience like you would with someone who's got physical handicap. Somehow you take a little extra care, but don't treat them any different. Just enjoy the person.
So what I see when the participants are here is a lot of happiness and joy of seeing each other and cheering on each other as they're making the shots. They're very engaged in what's happening on the screen, and I think they feel safe and secure and happy here because it's a regular routine for them now. And I can't speak to the science of what it's doing with their brain, but it seems to be having a positive impact on their mood. And I'm sure families, I know, because I've had calls myself from some of the spouses who are very grateful that this is happening because they see a change in their spouse just because they're involved.
My name is Dave Roy. I've been a golf pro for about 20 years. Well, people don't have to give up golf because of dementia, but I think that they often do, largely because there's not a program or a person that can support them. It becomes difficult depending on which stage of dementia the person has for them to be able to navigate the course by themselves or with a regular group of players. They end up sometimes getting into some habits that are uncomfortable for the people they play with. So I think if a program's in place, obviously anybody with dementia can continue to play with the proper support. But unfortunately, sometimes when that support's not there, it becomes very challenging. The dementia numbers have been increasing drastically over the past bunch of years. We're hoping that other golf courses follow our lead and we can pass this program on to other golf courses so that they can help with their elderly populations.
So for sure, I think that we've come up with a great kind of package that we could give to a golf course and just kind of show them what we've done. I think it's really important to have this opportunity at more golf courses. That's definitely my vision with the program, is to expand it and to have as many people impacted as possible.
So based on the worldwide calls for dementia-friendly communities, there's definitely a need for more programming. And adopting those dementia-friendly values like supporting individual self-determination and choice and being relational and encouraging, all of those things can be adapted really to any program. So there were some sports that actually coming out of the research, people had suggested like lawn bowling or croquet or something. So I just thought it was interesting how they were also starting to think about other programs that we could implement in our communities.
And so I know that the city is thinking about ways that they could incorporate it into dance programs and looking how they might adapt and provide dementia-friendly dance programs in the community. But what I'd like to see is that every community center, every program that's provided, whatever sport, whatever program it is, whether it's an art program, whatever, that it starts to think about, are we including, is our program actually accessible to people living with memory loss? And if not, what can we do to actually make it accessible to people living with memory loss? And use some of the research that we've been doing to actually inform what that might look like.
What's that? Kickboxing. Kickboxing, yeah.
I think the best thing about Golf for Life is the sense of community that has been created. I think the friendships that have been built and the connection between the other care partners as well and the golfers, we've really created an amazing place, an amazing space for everybody to come together. And you know, the best part is we don't even talk about dementia, let's say. We really just talk about the game of golf and you know, what everybody did on the weekend and what's going on, what's coming up this week. We really just are here to golf and enjoy each other's company and really love the game of golf together.
My message to everyone would be, it is possible to live a life with dementia and to live a good life with dementia. People with dementia have taught me that, and that dementia-friendly communities and dementia-friendly programs make that possible.
Absolutely, like whether or not the person has a cognitive or physical issue that they're struggling with, I still think that they should definitely be given the opportunity to play this game. A caddy is a perfect support person and is kind of already implemented in the game, and it's kind of a prestigious thing to have a caddy. So I think it's a really neat opportunity in the game of golf to allow people to play the game forever and to play golf for life. Good shot, Dennis. Nice shot, Dennis. Good job. It's crazy how good he is.